Camping equipment and pizza. All right. Yeah, like, I love Souls games, and Neo is kind of in the same vein. I mean, it's definitely a Souls-type game, but it's different. It's not like Dark Souls or Bloodborne. It's a different developer entirely. But I'm still interested in Neo and Neo 2. Weeb Souls, yeah. Basically. Code Vein, well I guess that's true. Code Vein is the new Weeb Souls, to be honest. Code Vein was great, actually, especially considering it's a Bandai Namco game, which typically doesn't make very super great games. Like, they make okay games, but mostly just kind of weeby games that are cheaply made. But Code Vein was actually rather decently high quality, and I really enjoyed it. They still could not help themselves from overtelling a story, though. Like, you know how Dark Souls has very little dialogue in it? There's almost no, like, actual, like, storytelling. Most of it you get from, like, passive lore and connecting the dots and stuff. And it's actually really amazing that way. But, like, anime games have the tendency to kind of overwrite their stories, you know? Like, remember Berseria? They just would not shut up. Just overwriting to hell. And it's typical in a lot of anime games. And it was like, at first Code Vein was doing that. Like, where it was not speaking a lot of dialogue, it was kind of keeping things a little bit more to the imagination of the player, and it was actually really cool that way, and it was really good. But they just couldn't help themselves. The deeper you get into the game, the more you just get more unnecessary writing and dialogue and irrelevant backstory that doesn't have any right being there. And it was like, you're still enjoying it, and it's still a hell of a lot less, but man, dude, anime game writers, they just can't help but, like, overwrite everything, and it's, ugh. Take a few days before it reappears? Weird, because when you donate it, it's instant. It's available. So why wouldn't a refund also be instant? No, whatever. It's yeah. As long as it's there. As long as you're getting it. Sorry. But yeah, it was kind of one of those disappointing things where it's like, you almost got it. Almost at it. I feel like I enjoy when things are overwritten sometimes. I'd rather have that than less writing. Nah, there's like there's like ways of writing things, you know, just as explanatory as otherwise, but with less words. You know, basically there's a lot of repetition or like unnecessary wording, and just they don't need to have it, and it doesn't add to the story. That too, show don't tell, you know, like have like animations and facial expressions that can signify a sort of feeling. Like, let's say someone has like a sad past, and the character says something, and then the NPC just kind of like stares off and has like a sad expression and just like, I don't want to talk about it, you know? Instead of it going like, well, let me tell you in 15 paragraphs or more, you know, why this is sad to me. And it's not necessarily about that there's not enough dialogue or it's just a lot of dialogue and I don't like a lot of dialogue. It's that it's unnecessary over-explaining. It's just words for the sake of words as filler, you know? And that's what I'm getting at it. It's not that a long written story is bad. It's that an overwritten story is bad, you know, filler kind of thing. How do I get over there? Hey Gregory, thank you for the 14 months resub, thank you. Yeah, I've heard that Trails games have the largest script in any game ever, and while that seems really interesting from a storytelling perspective potentially, it also has me afraid that it's like filler to the extreme. So while I am interested in the Tales games, I'm also hesitant, so. No, we were talking about Code Vein and anime games in general, how they tend to overwrite and over-explain unnecessarily to add filler to storytelling instead of being a good writer. Like, there's a really great example of how less writing can mean more, but it's kind of spoilery. It has to do with FF15 when you're in at the end of Altissia. There's a cutscene, and we're not going to spoil it, that has very little writing to it, and it's so much more powerful and significant due to that. You know, but the expression and the tone sets the mood. There's another scene in Final Fantasy X, one of the most moving and powerful scenes I've ever seen in a video game, and it has 0 words spoken. 0, not a single word, you know, and that's important. That's freaking powerful, you know, to be able to no, it's not Underwater Kissy Kiss. It's when Yuna finally meets Sid, or finally encounters Sid the first time in the game, but not for the first time in her life, obviously. And like what'll happen in a lot of these other games that have the overwriting is there's no like visuals, there's no animations to the characters, there's no expressions. It's just standing talking models or portraits with just a lot of words, you know. And a game being a visual medium, I feel like it should have rather visuals, cutscenes, animations, expressions, especially since we've been doing facial expressions since 2000. Not the 2000s, like since the year 2000 we've been doing dynamic facial expressions. Final Fantasy X being the first game to do that, of course. So like there's no excuse other than lazy and cheap. Why was this game never released? Probably because it was an incredibly ambitious project to begin with. So the localization of this would probably be expensive. Not to mention, this was released in '97, really at the end of the Super NES life cycle. Not really a good reason to localize this. So it'd be a huge localization project, very ambitious, and also very, very late in the cycle when people had already moved on to PlayStation. In fact, I think the N64 was already out at this time. The average DBZ episode lasts 20 minutes, DBZ recap by a third party, and then they just screamed at the top of lungs for about half an hour or something before taking a 24-hour break. Martial artists are weird. But yeah, basically what we were talking about was how I really liked Code Vein, and it tried to do the whole very minimal spoken dialogue that Dark Souls has, and try to capture your lore through items and stuff. It very much wanted to emulate Dark Souls storytelling, but like it could not help itself. It's like it starts out that way, and it just couldn't help itself. You know, it had to just have a whole bunch of unnecessary overwriting and irrelevant backstory plot stuff that was just fluff. You know, it didn't have value to it. And I loved Code Vein. It was very good, but, you know, my point is that even when they were trying to not do that, they couldn't help themselves. And I'm not sure what the deal is, like why that's the case. I think it's just not very skilled writers in general. But typically speaking, you know, Bandai Namco, they have a lot of anime games, and those suffer from that kind of thing quite often. And, they just don't have a lot of good writers on staff, I don't think. How am I enjoying this? Yeah, it's fun. It's good. It's a very, very impressive SNES game. Mostly what I did in Code Vein was just absolutely smash things with two-handed swords and kill bosses on like 3 hits without even bothering to heal. Just face roll it, but the game was overall pretty decently balanced. I got to the desert boss in Code Vein, and that's where I stopped after I beat it. And I don't know how far away that is from the end. Don't tell me, obviously, because I'm still not done playing the game, but yeah. Please no spoilerino. Never played Neo. That's what we were talking about, is how I haven't played Neo. Actually. Hey, Shripe. Thank you for the 9 months of Twitch Prime, dude. Thank you. Man, this is a really excessively long path to this temple. Better not be a dungeon on itself. Yeah, chat named the main character Edge in memory of Star Ocean 4. Annihilates beast-sized monsters with a fixed probability. Okay. Radix, yeah. Radix is the default version in this version, yeah. Radix. Secretly, I'm Goku's brother. I mean, I do have a tail. I'm pretty sure I'm a Saiyan. Man, such an opportunity for a hidden treasure there. Tempuru. God, it was a scarf. Yeah, it's a scarf. A hidden entrance. Yo, you guys seen any magical hidden entrances? Kaya, stop your complaining and look over there. Forgive me for startling you. I bear no ill intentions. Would you mind putting your sword away? Do we get Angel Girl in our party now? Well, if it ain't a feather folk. Oh, that's a dude. My name is Joshua, Highlander Warrior. Caius, will you assist me? I just discovered something. It looks like a hidden entrance on a cliff face. Are you telling the truth? Yes, it has been closed up with a boulder. Unfortunately, when it comes to tasks requiring physical strength, I fear that I am not adequate. Okay, let me take care of it. Meh. 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 Wow. It's pretty strong. Wow, you did it. Hold on a minute. What is it? Shut up, Hulk! Thank you, Anime Castlevania, for the $13.13 donation. Richter, die, monster! You don't belong in this world. Dracula. For a moment while laughs evilly for a moment while lightning flashes dramatically, then goes off on an hour-long spiel about his tragic backstory before the battle finally starts. Nice. I ain't never heard no Featherfolk adventures. That you guys live in the mountains your whole life. That's the plateau race. Highlanders are the same, are they not? Leaving the Astral Kingdom is tantamount to becoming a commoner. You trying to tell me to keep my nose out of other people's business? Hey, you two. I'm sorry, that wasn't very mature of me. Fine, that ain't what you mean, then that's fine with me. Let's go, Edge. Was calling him a commoner an insult? That's just how he is, don't take it personally. Huh? Basically, if you start to get too nosy, he sees you as meddling in his affairs. Is that so? He doesn't like that type of person, does he? He was like that when we first met him, too. But you must have something troubling you, too, right? If you didn't, you wouldn't have been able to make him so angry. It's just as he said, the winged race, the feather folk such as myself traveling around from place to place is not normal. No matter how you look at it, I'm thought of as an eccentric. For that reason, I make sure to make no relationship with the people around me, to the best of my ability anyway. Oh, if it's that bad of a problem, why don't you tell us about it? There's an old saying, relations between people are tied to prior relationships and past lives. Oh, yeah, not? Okay. What's that? It's an old saying on Earth. The truth is... The first Star Ocean was on the Super Famicom, yeah. But it just was never released in the US. I am in search of my sister. Huh? I am in search of my sister, for whom I was separated when we were very young. Brother, Oni-chan! My parents were murdered. I was thrown over a cliff, but was able to survive. Somehow, I'm not certain if my sister's alive or dead. I shall never forget my mortal enemy, that overwhelmingly murderous gaze and that crimson crest shield. There cannot be two of them in this world. ... exclamation mark, exclamation mark. A crimson shield with a crest? Could it be the most renowned Adaro swordsman even among the masters? You know him? Ah, couldn't be. My mistake. I see. So basically, you're looking for the Eye of Truth too, huh? Let's go. You'd have a tough time inside all by yourself. Yeah. Yeah, I figured if I amended relationships between them, then Joshua would join my party's probably a healer. Yo, you're late. What are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry. Yay! Healer, finally. Wow. Well, I like Joshua. He's pretty cool. But he's low level right now, has very little HP, and he's not that warrior girl, unfortunately. Can I just take Caius out and get warrior girl instead? Thanks, appreciate it. Cuidado! Bring it on. Wow. I thought I had Scout on for lower encounter rate, but it seems to be going really high still. Parmesan Temple. Hey, thank you, Brexile. Thank you for the 21 months, dude. Appreciate that continued support. Now I'm getting blackberries like freaking candy, dude. Now that I don't need the healing as much. Okay, so why did the game force me to go to the right cave when this is the Parge Temple? This is where it's supposed to be, supposedly. Well, I'm actually taking damage here. I'd really like to learn my skills, but I don't want to waste points by not having the efficiency talent or whatever it is that they talked about. Shouldn't have told me about it. I'd actually spend my skill points. I'm pretty sure there's only one set of skills that I haven't learned too, and that's the one that probably has that. Either that or I missed one already, and that was the one I needed. Oh, that's why I can go in here. There's only treasures in here. Get him! Cuidado! Yo, Caius, why are you burning all your skill points, buddy? I wonder why Kai's burnt all. There might be a skill point steal going on. It looks like there's an SP recovery mechanic or MP recovery mechanic. Parmesan Temple, back entrance. Wow, okay. I just got 3 question mark weapons. Sure. How do I identify? You know what? I thought maybe the where are they? Spectacles, yeah. Used for identifying. Oh, you can use for identifying and peek at enemies. Okay, so I do need to get identify. Let's have how do I use identify though? Maybe I go to an item. Use abilities to... Oh! Dude, there's no... How are you supposed to know to go in this little sub-menu? Oh my god, dude. Okay, here's... Place items for battle, use at the top. Arrange by alphabetical, place weapons at the top, place somewhere at the top. Item creation. Here we go. Here we go. We found the menu to actually freaking do stuff. Okay, her identifying isn't enough. Hey, what's up? Why is the menu FX a squeaky toy? Didn't I make that comment earlier? I swear I made that one. Like last week or yesterday, day before rather. Identify 5. Mineralogy. Need it. Oh. They were all long swords, huh? Okay.